Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the week of November 7th. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Aquarius. Now I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot as well as the Angel Answers Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks, as always, in the description below. Do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for future updates from me. And all right, I'm going to be doing a pyramid spread here. So let's make sure we're all set up and in view, Aquarius. And then we'll get right into it. All right. We'll go ahead and put that up there. I think that looks just about good enough to me for right now. Cool. So Aquarius, definitely some of you here, I think some of you here are working past some of you have been working on healing some past relationship energy here. Some of you have took a stand in your romantic connections or in your love life, and this might have revealed something about somebody that you didn't see coming, and in other words, somebody might have revealed their true colors. If I'm just looking at this, I do think that for some of you, if the changes have not already happened, the changes are certainly on the way in your love life. Not to be overly negative here, but there could just be, somebody could really how do I say this? Somebody could show their hand in relationships in the future here for you. But ultimately, the change that's showing up is for your highest good, according to tarot, the meaning of the death card. And ultimately, I can't tell you what's for your highest good. I'm just reading the cards. But ultimately, changes that the death card brings are ultimately very good. And in life, we need to be going through transformations to really grow as people. Now, we're not always going through transformations, but transformations are a part of our experience here. And I think that some of you could be undergoing one of those right now, connected to love. So let's go ahead and let's dive in. Now, I will try to bring in messages for those who are here who are not for love as well. But in the overall situation, you do have the Lover's card, which obviously can really heavily be connected to relationships and love generally in your life. All right, this can be a deep connection to another person. However, in a non-love context, the Lovers also means that you have an important choice to make. Some of you here, you've taken a stand recently, or there's been something in your life where the feeling is that this is a bigger choice or a bigger stand that you've had to take in life here, Aquarius. And I think that that's also why the Lovers is showing up. You could be dealing with a Gemini. Actually, when I was shuffling, the Lovers card popped out. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio. Of course, we are in Scorpio season here. But they could have that type of energy about them. Try not to get hung up on the sun sign, because they could have that energy somewhere else in their chart. But so for some of you here, this is an important choice in your life. And for others of you here, there is something connected to your love situation where there's been new energy in your love situation. And the reason is because in the past here, we have the Four of Swords and we have the Seven of Wands. So you can see the Four of Swords person you can see the Three of Swords card on the wall above this person here. And this indicates that this person is healing from heartbreak, because the Three of Swords brings about separation or heartbreak in life. And you can also see that they're praying as well, which they're kind of accepting higher guidance, if you will. But really what they're doing is they're healing. And with that, you have this Seven of Wands, which I think in one part, some of you have been meditating, communing with the universe, doing solo stuff recently, trying to figure out how it is that you want to take a stand here. With the Seven of Wands, this person's taking a stand. They're not letting anybody walk all over them. And I think for some of you, you've been kind of like reaching up and seeing how it is that you want to do this in your life with the Four of Swords and the Seven of Wands. I also think that it's possible here that some of you have, gone through a heartbreak, or you've gone through a separation, and you're just like, okay, this is what it is. This is what I've decided, or this is what this person did, or whatever the case may be. This is what this person did, and it is what it is, and I'm drawing a hard line here, and that's the way it is. If you're not here for love, some of you have some decisions to make in your career, with Seven of Wands indicating potentially workplace competition, and you having a choice to make around whether or not you want to be in that environment or not. Some of you may have felt like recently in the past that you've needed rest from your job. Now, in the future, you have the Death card as well as the Seven of Swords. So Death card does bring about change and transformation, as I've said multiple times in this reading already. It's a big change though, okay? It's like, as I say, the Death card is like going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? It's a big, big change. And change is painful, change is scary. But ultimately it's necessary and it's important, because you don't want to stay stuck in the same situation, right? Especially if you're in this scenario here where you're healing from a heartbreaking situation. You don't want to stay in heartbreak, right? And so you have this new energy, this fresh energy, as we're in Scorpio season here with the Death card. The Seven of Swords is a deception, or somebody may be sabotaging you. It can be about lying, cheating, stealing, if you look up the card, but it's about deception. It can also, in a more positive way, say that you need to build a strategy to get yourself out of something or to work through something. I think some of you somebody has revealed their true colors or their true intention to you, if I'm really looking at this truthfully here, and with the Lover's card being at the base here as the overall situation. And this has led to a change in some ways. And some of you may just be coming to terms with that. I don't like to read, bring in negative messages, but it's what's coming in. So let's go ahead and let's get some more details here. Okay, yeah, so you have King of Wands, which in a love reading, this could be somebody who's a player. You have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Two of Wands. Yeah, and you have the Ten of Swords. Okay. All right. So I love the King of Wands, but not for its player definition, obviously. The reason I love the King of Wands is because when it's not in a love reading, this is somebody who is really passion-led, and they are really like entrepreneurial. They do what they want for their career. They do what they want, in their life. And, oftentimes you'll see this person leading their team at work, or that you'll see them owning a business or whatever. And, this person is so talented that they could go get a job anywhere else. So they can absolutely leave a situation in work and easily go get a new opportunity, which you have here with the Page of Pentacles, which indicates a prospect or an opportunity in life. And so, if you're in this work scenario, which now that I'm looking at this, as we have two wands showing up, wands connects to work, career, enterprise. As I'm looking at this, I do think some of you are like, all right, do I go discover what's over here for me, in my work situation, which I think some of you may be doing that. Okay. Some of you may be absolutely doing that at this time. And in the love scenario here, the King of Wands does have a reputation, so to speak. If you're a younger person, or maybe you've just heard this elsewhere, the King of Wands might have a body count, which means they get around town, okay? And it's because the King of Wands is all about freedom and being able to do what they want to do in their life, which has pluses and minuses, right? As all things in life, pros and cons. And so, some of you may have just been dealing with somebody like that, okay? And they may have revealed their true intentions here. And yeah. The other thing is, this person, if they're not a player, this person might just be really, really like, they may be in love with their work, Okay, like they may actually be in love with their work, and that also could be creating a strain on the relationship here, as you have the Page of Pentacles, who's somebody who's hardworking, King of Wands, somebody who loves what they do. And so that's also a scenario. You're recognizing here in the relationship energy that this is done, like this is not what you're looking for anymore. And, you know, that's probably a painful situation or a painful realization to go through, but it is ultimately one that gets you closer to what you want, which is important, right? It's important to go for what you want, not necessarily what somebody else wants. Again, in work situations here with the Two of Wands, choice, right? The Lovers and the Two of Wands represents a choice. I think in your relationship energy here, there's also a choice, which I think some of you are just like, all right, this is, you know, this cycle here is closing out with the Ten of Swords. This person's not compatible with me anymore. You know, they've done XYZ here with the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords. This is not what I want, right? Something like this here showing up for you. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the oracles here. Can we get a few oracle cards? Okay, can we get a few more? Okay. All right. So you have, all right, let's see here. All right, you have communicate clearly, trust, ask your angels. You know, I think that this is about you trusting that you can easily resolve this conflict or this feeling that you have about your connection to this other person. And so, you know, you feel disrespected, hurt, whatever. Just trust that that's how you feel. And it's okay for you to set clear boundaries here, which I think some of you are setting clear boundaries with the Seven of Wands for sure showing up. I also do think with this Ask Your Angels card, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, as you see this person here has their hand in a prayer stance down here. You know, I do think that this is about you connecting however you connect, right? However you connect with spirituality. I do think that some of you are doing that at this time. And this might even be something as simple as meditation, a walking meditation, you know, yoga, whatever it is, right? So I think some of you here are kind of really leaning into that at this time. And, you know, I think that this is a message for you to trust what you feel about, you know, your relationship, but also about this choice that you have to make here in life with the Lovers and the Two of Wands here, really trusting what you feel like you need to do in this scenario. So let's go ahead and let's start to get some more information here. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands, and you have the Nine of Swords. All right, so definitely, this is interesting. So definitely Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords. By the way, I'm going to say, if you feel guided, you should watch the Capricorn reading. Obviously the sign that comes before you in the zodiac wheel, but there's some pretty big crossovers, parallels, especially if you have a Capricorn placement. I would say definitely give that a go. But anyway, the Nine of Swords, you know, this person's like head in their hands. They're going through a nightmare. They're really going through challenges here mentally. And that's normal when you go through a situation like we've talked about here, where there's like a big change, right? That's like a normal thing to go through. And I think some of you here are just really spending a lot of time thinking about this choice that you have to make, but also trusting in your ability to communicate boundaries with somebody very clearly here. And I think taking a stand, you know, you have this conflict here with the Five of Wands. You have this Ten of Pentacles, which is about major abundance in life. It is interesting that cards coming forward here. You know, I think if you're here and you're not here for love, I do think for some of you, any sort of change you make is not just going to be passion led, but I think it'll also be about, like, you know, what puts you in the best position possible to build out a legacy for yourself, or to build, you know, something long term for yourself financially. I think that that's also a big factor for you. You have the Three of Wands, And then you also have the Emperor. So Three of Wands, this is about growth, expansion, opportunity on the horizon for you. And, the Emperor, this is somebody who is very successful in business, very successful in career, very successful generally in life. It's a major message of success when you get the Emperor card. And this is kind of like seen as like big boss energy in the tarot. So, this could be, definitely a good sign here for your work situation. This is also somebody who has really solid routines. There's a certain type of rigidity to the Emperor that actually comes in handy, if you will, that actually works in their favor, because sometimes we have to lock down our routines, right? And we just have to commit ourselves to something and allow that to help us drive us to where we need to go. And that's something that the Emperor can do. I think some of you are committing to a stand or committing to something here in your love life or in your career life. You definitely like the Three of Wands because it is about excitement for the future or getting fired up about what the future holds for you. And so I definitely like to see that for you. At the top of the pyramid, you have dedication with the Eight of Pentacles here. Dedication to a task, dedication to a path, dedication to something here that's coming forward here. It's also a major talent in the tarot. It says you have a major talent, you have major skills, gifts, abilities. I think some of you here in your love situation, you're gonna, draw a boundary here. You're going to let go of the people that you need to let go of. And I think as a result, you're also going to put yourself into a really nice period of time work-wise after you've maybe worked through some sort of challenges in your personal life. I think work is really going to drive you forward here. And I think in your work, if you're here for work, you're not here for love. I definitely think there's a new opportunity available, but you're a little bit concerned about like how you're going to move to that opportunity or move in that direction. And I would say that, again, the cards are saying trust, because you've earned a new opportunity here. Yeah, on the bottom of the deck you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is about your destiny and your fate. It's also about a change. Wheel of Fortune, Death card, is major change on the horizon for you, but it's a really good change for you. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.